whoever they're working with, that this is the way forward. And I'd like to introduce Samuel García, who is the constitutional governor of the state of Nuevo León in Mexico, who for 10 minutes is going to tell us how it's working in Nuevo León.
Thank you very much.
You better tell everyone where Nuevo León is.
Sure, that's in the presentation. Good afternoon, Egypt, and obviously good morning to Mexico, and 130,000 people that are watching online. Well, I'm Samuel García. I'm the youngest governor the Nuevo León state has had in the history. And I would like to show you where is Nuevo León to start. The state of Nuevo León is in the north part of Mexico, in the northeast, very close to the US. We are neighbors with Texas, and obviously we're very well connected with the treaty, the TEMEC, and we have nowadays the most powerful state of Mexico, the industrial state of Mexico, and we're trying to implement a green agenda to show up what we're doing in Mexico. Obviously, being an industrial city has its costs, and we're trying to make a new paradigma that we can make wealth without affecting or by expenses of the environment of Nuevo León. First of all, when we started in office, we have 1 year in office, a 6-year term. We started with a very aggressive green agenda, a tax reform that includes the green taxes. We are taxing everything that pollutes. The more you pollute, the more you will pay to resource the damage you are doing. We are making taxes to emissions, PM10, PM2.5. Sorry, let me return one. Total suspended particles. We got also taxing fabrics and quarries that were eating our mountains, and big voluminous garbage that most of the fabrics were making in Nuevo León. This has brought us an important revenue, around $5 million revenue that are directly targeted in budget to rainforest, to have green corridors, and a very ambitious plan in this 6-year term. We are betting $5 million on public transport. Our state has 6 million people, but the bad news was that we had 3 million cars. So we have to obviously eradicate the car as an obligation, and we are getting a lot of public transport, 3 subway lines, 1 suburban train, and 3 new highways to make the best mobility in all America Latina, including the biggest bus fleet electro-mobility made for all America Latina also. In another topic, we would like to announce that we represent a group of governors called Compact of Governors. We are 30 governors from America Latina. And in this COP, we are making a very big compromise to have 30% of our territory naturally protected over 2030. In Nuevo León, we have a lot of birds, mammals, a lot of species, but we only guaranteed that 10% of the territory as naturally protected. Now, we will cover more than 30%, and mostly the areas where the water has to be conserved, because last summer we have a drought, because we are getting less rain, at least 20% less rain each year because of climate crisis, and that will be all the area protected now in the state of Nuevo León, as I told you, with another 20 states of America Latina. And a third and most ambitious program was to create a new and green constitution. Last month, our local Congress published the new constitution of Nuevo León, and it includes most of the rights worldwide being recognized for conserving and having a good nature and a good environment. It includes, obviously, healthy environment, preservation and protection of natural resources, breathing clean air, exploring renewable energies, water supply, sustainable cities, and sustainable metropolis. This constitution creates two new agencies. The Agency for Promoting and Exploring Renewable Energies. This will get in action by January, and we will explore solar, wind, thermogenetic, hydrogen, lithium-long batteries, and fusion. And for the State Agency of the Air, we are looking to have a lot of investment in having a lot of filters in the industry, on the fabrics, on a refinery we have very close in the city, so the air pollution in Nuevo León start being favorable for our people. Also, I have to say that Nuevo León is a state city. We have 92% of the population living in the capital city, Monterrey. And that's why, as a state city, we have to make a metropolitan coordination that the new constitution now recognizes and mandates 16 cities to be arranged in many topics as mobility, public transport, deforestation, and most important, race to zero. The 16 cities of the metropolis are now being ambitiously betting on being zero carbon race up to 2040. I have 2 minutes left, and I would like to tell you that for us, in the cabinet, we just created very late, but we did it now, the Secretary of Environment, and a coordination that it makes sense that you can make wealth. We will need richness, but never at expenses of our environment. Last summer, and with this I will conclude, we have the worst or the most severe drought in the history of Nuevo León. And this is because every year we are getting less and less rain. Our dams were empty. We have 3 dams. They were completely empty. There was no rain in Nuevo León, and we suffer a lot. And that's why we want to come to COP27 to tell the world, our leaders, our governors, social society, that we need to stop with this climate crisis, with emissions, because many regions, like in Pakistan, like in Bangladesh, like in Mexico, we're getting less rain or more rain than we need. And this makes floods and droughts. We now guarantee our people we will never have another crisis, but it was very important for us to show the world that we're making a plan, a 250 master water plan for more dams, more pipelines, more wells. But this will not be enough if we do not change the pathway of the world on emissions and give our people a new set mind that we need to be sustainable. Each of us, not only government, not only industry, everyone, if everyone is part of the problem, everyone has to be part of the solution. Now Nuevo León is having what we call citizens of 100. And we don't mean a grade or an A+. Citizens of 100 liters per day, because that's the World Health Organization schedule for humans, the maximum we should use of water. And now Nuevo León has sent this big campaign to conserve our water and be sustainable for the future years, for our sons, for our grandsons. Thank you very much, and obviously, I would like to invite you to Nuevo León and visit the best state of Mexico.